Are you wondering what to include in your hurricane kit? Well, I'm going to show you in this video what to include not only for you and your family, but also for your pets. So keep on watching. But before we go any further, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. So let's start with what you should pack your kit in. So I do like to put some things into a plastic bin like this. It has a tight lid, kind of snaps shut, and it's easy to carry. But the thing you want to be careful is that you don't actually pack it so heavy that you can't lift it. Because once you put a lot of essentials in here, especially if you're packing canned goods and batteries and things, it can get really, really heavy. So your other option would be to pack some items in here, but still make sure you can lift it, and also to use a roller bag. It's perfect actually if you use a carry-on bag that you would use for an airlines. That way in that roller bag you can put some essentials, and we'll talk about what the essentials are coming up next. If you're thinking you don't need to prepare for a hurricane, take a look at a few of these images from Hurricane Ian and that may change your mind. Let's talk about documents that you should include in your kit. It's very important that you have copies of all of your insurance papers. I put everything into a Ziploc bag. I also take pictures with my phone, so I have everything in a file in the cloud. So that's super easy to do if you're not sure how to do that. There's a way to do that with your app, your Notes app on your phone, and then you can actually hit the little picture icon, and then it gives you a pop-up menu, and you can scan documents right from there. So super easy to do. Definitely have physical copies of papers, but also have everything uploaded into the cloud so that you can access them later if in fact you do lose everything at your house. So take all of that information and put it into a Ziploc. I also make photocopies of my driver's license, my passport, and my social security card. You'll need those kind of identifying documents if you're going to make an insurance claim, and if you just need to replace your documents at a later date once the hurricane has passed and we're beginning the cleanup efforts. So do that. Copies of any of your prescriptions, that's also a good idea to put in here. If you have pets, put your pets' vaccination records in a bag as well, because shelters typically will not let you in with a pet if you do not have vaccination records. So do that. Please don't forget about your pet. On my website, and I will link to that below in the comments, I have a printable checklist, and on that checklist it shows you how to prepare your home and your vehicles, family preparation, what to have on hand, gathering important documents, and again we're talking about your homeowner's policy, your health insurance, driver's license, passport, if you have a will, any kind of vital health records, which would of course include if you have glasses, that you've got your prescription, and contacts, any kind of emergency contacts that you may have. That's really good to have in the baggie as well. So if something should happen and you need to contact somebody but you can't get to your phone, and who knows phone numbers anymore? Nobody memorizes them anymore, they're just in the phone. So make sure you have people's phone numbers written down. And bank account numbers is also a really good thing to have with the contact information for the bank accounts. And credit cards. If you need to call your credit card and do something, make sure you know how to reach them. So again, please have digital copies and hard copies and put them into a Ziploc bag that goes right into your essentials bag. I would not put this into your big bin. I would definitely put it into your roller bag that stays with you at all times. Let's talk about some household items that you should pack in your kit. One item that I found really important during Irma when we lost power for 9 days was contractor bags. Everything in my refrigerator and my freezer had to be thrown out, and garbage was not collected for about 2 weeks. So these were great because they're heavy duty, they tie pretty tightly, and they're definitely easier than having many kitchen garbage bags that could rip and you have to use 2 at a time instead of using just 1 bag. So certainly put these in your kit. Next up, flashlights. You should have lots of them, and make sure that you stock up on batteries well before there's a hurricane coming our way. Batteries will be an essential item that you will not find in any Home Depot or Lowe's or Ace Hardware, Target, nowhere. You will not be able to find batteries. It's almost as bad as finding gasoline when you're trying before a hurricane to fill up your tank. Make sure you have batteries and flashlights. You should definitely have some tarps. If you have a roof leak or something and you need to stop water from getting into your house, this is good to have on hand. And obviously don't climb on your roof if you're not safe, but have them on hand in case you have a contractor or something after the fact that's going to come over and do the work for you. So have some of these in your kit. Next up is a hatchet and some sort of a saw. So during Hurricane Ian, I had to clear trees actually from the driveway. So if you cut, you can hopefully get some of the bigger branches off, either with a hatchet or with a saw. And these are kind of nice because they're super easy, they're very portable, but it helps to lighten the branches. If a huge branch falls and you can't drag it because it's just too heavy, you can use this to cut off some of the smaller branches to lighten up the load on the bigger branch that fell. What kind of food should you pack? Well, definitely nothing that needs refrigeration. So beans and things that are in plastic, cardboard, cans, those are really good. Make sure you pack plenty of snacks, and think about your kids and think about the adults that are in your family. If there are any dietary restrictions, gluten-free or any sensitivities, make sure you have plenty of food that they can eat as well. And you should really have enough of this for at least, I think, my opinion is 4 or 5 days, because if you're in a shelter, you don't know what you're going to be getting for food, and it's just nice that you have your own snacks and things that you can rely upon without having to wait for somebody else to provide things for you. And of course, we've been fortunate in Southwest Florida when we've had hurricanes that there have been so many amazing people that have stepped up and helped. But sometimes it can take days really for things to get rolling and for people to get out to where they need to be to help people. So be prepared with any kind of food that you can possibly pack to either take with you, or if you're sheltering in place, just have food on hand. So when a hurricane hits, it is quite likely that you will be without power unless you have a generator and you're fortunate enough. But if you're without power for days, you're going to need something that helps you pass the time. I suggest a notebook, and make sure you have plenty of pens packed. And also for entertainment purposes, a deck of cards is great. Uno is a family favorite, as is Yahtzee. So just fun little games that you can play with the entire family. And also books. Good old-fashioned books, because you won't have a computer or an iPad or any kind of television entertainment, so pack some things that your family can do to pass the time. Also important that you pack chargers so that when you do get power back, you can charge your devices and be ready to go with whatever you need to do to get back on track and recovering from the hurricane. Now that you have your hurricane kit ready and your bin is all packed, you've got a wheelie bag packed, your family is all ready, and of course your pets, there are some things that you should do to get your home and your vehicles ready in case we actually get a hurricane. So certainly we do know days in advance that if a storm is headed our way that we need to prepare. So some of the things that I have on my list, and this again is a printable checklist that I have linked below. You can download it and print it and keep it with you. So some of the things to prepare your home and vehicle include, around your home, I remember during Hurricane Irma, some of the neighbors did not have their palm trees trimmed up, and the coconuts flew like crazy and actually damaged neighbors' roofs. Those tile roofs are really expensive, so you really should trim up your trees and make sure all the coconuts are taken down so that they don't become projectiles and they really can cause some damage. A few other things that you should do is, of course, if you have outdoor furniture, bring them inside. People typically put them in the garage, but if you have to bring them into your actual house, that's fine too. Clean out your gutters and your drains. You don't want flooding because the gutters are clogged and the drains are not draining properly. So do what you can to help out and make sure those are all free of debris. fill up your gas tank. And it's also a good idea to have your propane tanks filled. So if you have to cook with your grill, and it could be for days, that you have tanks that are filled and ready to go. Windshield wipers and tires, make sure everything's good with your vehicle, because if you have to evacuate and get on the highway, the last thing you want is to have an issue with your car. So just kind of go through and make sure that everything is fine. If you have to have servicing done, make sure that's up to date and ready to go. And lastly, I think it's important for you, if you haven't done this for a while for your insurance company, is go around your house and just take photos and videos of your home. If you do have a loss and its contents, especially if you have valuables, antiques and artwork and things like that, you really want all of that documented. So have an up-to-date video of exactly what was in your house so that you, if you have to make an insurance claim, you have proof of everything and you can share that with your adjuster. Now that you've learned what to include in your hurricane kit, it's time to take that information to prepare for your family. Remember to print the checklist and the resources that I have available for you on my website. They're linked in the comments section below. Please listen to local officials. If they tell you to evacuate, it's for your own safety. Before you go, give this video a thumbs up, and if you have any questions or comments, share them below.